population. Is that because we do all of the crime, or is it because crime is treated differently, depending on the community?
Still in my probationary year, when you ought to be careful if you really want your job. My training officer was white, and we're in Georgetown. So I stopped this car, and he said, "Why are you stopping that car?" I said, "Because it's a car." And he says, "We don't stop white people." I said, "What do you mean we don't stop white people?" He said, "We don't stop white people." And I said, "Do you realize who is sitting here? Are you telling me we only stop black people?" He said, "Well, we don't stop white people." So for the next 4 hours, the remainder of my tour, that's all I stopped in Georgetown. And he was sitting there, and he was like lobster red. And I said, "Well, I'm not going to make it out of my probationary year, because this is my training officer."
But one time I kind of was a little attitude-y towards the TSA member, and later she had cops come to my gate telling me, "Oh, you threatened the officer, you threatened da 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 da." Like, wow, you called the cops on me? I was at the time like, what, 15, 16?
We actually had quotas, and so yeah, we could make people upset enough that we could charge them with disorderly or something. I always call it a contempt of cop. You know, you tick me off, therefore you're going to be arrested.
She called the cops and was like, "Oh, this lady threatened her." It was a blatant lie. So you feel me? Like, it's a struggle out here, just living.
Personally, I want to try and get to the aspect of the mental cases of most of these officers, how they get into being an officer. So I've been asking Mr. Tyson, like, how did he get from where he is to where he was? Most of everybody, at least I've learned, that most everybody in police was in military. They go from military into, they're out of the military, retire, whatever, and then they go into, they still want to do something, so they go into police.
The guy that killed those 9 cops, just like Chris Dorner before him, was from our military. And then right after he did it, another 4 cops were shot dead in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Again, a black man that served in our military. What are they doing? They believe, just like they did when they were joining the fucking military, that they were fighting acts of terror.
This is a racist society. Racism is in its DNA, and you need an agency to maintain those racist values, and the police are it and continue to be it.
People watch the video and still deny what happened. People watch the video and make jokes about it. He just showed everybody the George Floyd challenge. People acting, joking with their knees on someone's neck. People literally know Breonna Taylor was asleep, got killed in her sleep. And what are the police officers still doing right now? Probably chilling at home, like nothing ever happened.
There's so many that haven't been on video that have been similar. I've seen people treated like that for my entire life. And my parents have had to have a talk with me that was so much different than others.
And like all of the things that our parents tell us to do when you're stopped by police, like remain calm, don't make them nervous. Like, why am I making you nervous? Like, it's always something that's on the back of my mind when I go out, when my friends go out. It's like, are we gonna make it home like later tonight?
I'm protesting because of the history and repeated instances of police violence against Black people in the U.S. Like social media and ways to document all of these events, and body cams on police. That's just really brought that to the forefront a lot more.
I could take people through the real history of policing and deconstruct this whole thing of race and how police officers really get sucked into something that most don't even want to do. The majority of officers, really want to do good, but the culture changes them if they're not aware of how the culture would change them.
As is, the system just needs a complete overhaul and starting from scratch.
I pray each night that after this, these motions, these protests, this movement, there's an ability for people to see that everybody should be respected and treated the same, regardless as to your previous experiences, regardless as to who you know, regardless as to the color of your skin. Everybody should be treated equally.